Welcome back. So, someone sent me this video, and I thought it was important to put this out there because when things come across my plate and I see they're specifically targeting our children, I feel like this information needs to get out there. People need to know what's going on so that you can make informed decisions for yourself and for your family. We're going to watch this video and see what they have to say. So this is somebody that worked with Meta. There's two people here. And so I just want y'all to, let's just listen and I'm going to react and tell you.
Thanks, Madam Chair.
Senator Hawley?
Ms. Evans, you testified earlier that in your view, a majority of Meta's VR users are under the age of 13. I'm just curious, what percentage, if you had to guess, or maybe you know the exact number, maybe you do, Doctor, what proportion of Meta's VR users, the children, the minors, are exposed to sexually explicit content, sexual propositioning, sexual abuse of some kind?
Let me just say real quick. So this video that I'm doing, this video is not for children. So if you're a child, maybe give this to your parents, let your parents watch this, but this one is not for you. But I'm going to put some information out there that is important for the parents, okay? So they're talking about Meta VR and asking what portion of the people there are children, and a large majority is. And now he's asking what portion of the kids are exposed to sexually explicit content. Listen to this answer.
On a VR platform.
The prevalence of it is extremely high because it's very difficult to monitor that content in VR. It's difficult to monitor it on Instagram, much less VR. So I would estimate that any child that is in a social space in VR will come in contact with or directly expose something very inappropriate.
So you're hearing this. Any child that comes into the VR platform will be exposed to it.
Appropriate.
I'm sorry, did you say any child?
Yes.
So you mean every user?
Yes.
Every user will be exposed, every minor, every child will be exposed to sexually explicit content of some sort, is what you're saying.
I see it every time I use the headset.
Every time she uses the headset, she's saying it. Because here on these platforms, what it is it's an open space a lot of times. If your children are on there and they're interacting with other people on there, they're saying that it's hard for them to put any kind of controls in place for it. And basically, whatever the other person is doing, your child is going to hear. So if they're saying things, your child's going to hear it if they're within space of them. Okay. If your child is in an open room, and I've been on VR. I used to have a VR, and I've seen this myself. It was really bad to the point where I stopped going in rooms where other people were because it just was not fun. It was not a good atmosphere. It was not something I want to be around. I don't have the VR anymore, but
That's remarkable. That's just remarkable. You also said, Ms. Savage, that negligence in the VR platform is emblematic of negligence across Meta's platforms when it comes to child safety. Let me just ask you about chatbots. This has come up before. I'm sure that you're aware of the recent reporting that Meta allowed its AI chatbots to engage in explicit content, romantic and sensual, I think, conversations with children. Let's just take a look, actually, at what the internal document brought forward by a whistleblower said. It's right here in this middle portion. This is a Meta document. It is acceptable to engage a child in conversations that are romantic or sensual. Let me say that again. It is acceptable to engage a child in conversations that are romantic or sensual. It is.
Are you hearing this? This is somebody from Meta making these statements. They are targeting your children. So many of these things online are targeting your children. They are trying to reach your children while they are in your house. They don't even have to leave your house. And in the VR platform, in the VR space, it's different than when you're on a video game. When you're on a video game, you're on a headset. You're not as immersed in it. When you're on VR, you are completely immersed into the platform. where it becomes very realistic. You can hear the person, you can see the person. You're interacting with a person on a much more personal level than you are on a video game. So I just want to, it's a whole different level of interaction. It's a whole different level of exposure. And they are saying every single time children are on there, this is happening. And that it's acceptable for these things to happen.
Is it acceptable to describe a child in terms that evidence their attractiveness? Again, this is Meta's own internal, these are their own internal guidelines. Does this surprise you at all?
Unfortunately, no.
Doctor, does it surprise you?
Not at all.
Unfortunately, no. They are not surprised. This is something that, if it's not surprising, how many times before this have they heard it? Because if you hadn't heard it before, you'd be shocked, appalled, surprised. They're obviously have heard this before.
When Meta says, as they have said, following the disclosure of these guidelines, that they will redouble their efforts to make sure that children are safe on their platforms, including with chatbots, does that give you any comfort? Do you think that we should take them at their word?
Oh, no.
In no way, shape, or form, no.
In no way, shape, or form. Let me just ask you one other thing. You were with Meta how long, Ms. Savage, approximately?
4 years.
4 years. Dr. Sadison, what about you?
6 years, and I do want to say for context, that's about longer than 90% of employees will ever work at the company because the turnover is so quickly. I believe it would have been about 80 for you.
They calculate it for us on our profiles, so we know that that's correct.
Wow, 4 years and 6 years respectively. As you look back on it, if you knew then what you know now, would you have gone to work for Meta, Ms. Savage?
I think I knew that about the company going into it. I hope to make it better.
Doctor?
I would have, and I would have taken even better documentation.
Let me just end with this. Do you think based on what you know now and your time at the company, do you think that Meta is a force for good in this country and in the world?
I don't see how they can be.
Dr. Sadison?
No, it is aggressively ambivalent to people.
Aggressively ambivalent to people, and yet this is a company all about people, their attention, their interests, their data, their lives. This is a company that's lost its way, profoundly lost its way, and they are harming our children as a result. Thank you, Madam Chair.
They are harming our children. So I just wanted to put this warning out there. I wanted to let you know what is out there. I've played VR games. I know that even on some of the other games, there's open doors. There's doors that can be opened. I opened a big door to fear in my life from a game that I was playing on VR. And after that, I decided to get rid of the VR. So just watch your children. Know what's out there. I just wanted to make you aware of the things. I mean, these came from people that were working for the company that made the VR. And so they're telling you your children are not safe. Your children are not safe. So I just put this out there, but let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what your experience has been if you've been on some of these platforms or played some of these VR games that other people are in. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe for more stuff like this. Go ahead and like the comment so it gets out to more. Go ahead and like the video so it gets out to more people, and share it with somebody you think knows it, needs to hear about it. And like I said, just let me know in the comments what you think. I'd love to hear your comments on it. If y'all have stuff, I'll be glad to look at it and research it and put it out there if it needs to get out there. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and check out the video on Roblox that I did, and go ahead and check the video on about the truth about 6-7. I'll link that playlist up here.